There's one.
Everyone getting their notifications now. Yep.
Yep,
Live
there's
on
one.
Facebook.
There's two.
Cool. I'll just get the stream up and then off we go. Sweet. And good evening and welcome to episode 79 of Endless Banter. It is the best of 2019. We are joined this evening by Mr. PH. It's good to have you back, sir. How are you?
Not too bad. I've got shit internet for some reason. But
You seem all right for us on the screen. You seem absolutely fine.
I'm just trying to get the live feed on Facebook to fire up. Just doing it slowly.
And we're also joined by the lovely, as always, Pixie Quinn. Good evening, Pixie.
I'll do.
79 of Endless Banter. It is the best. There we go. And we're also joined by the man, the Mr. Legend, Mr. Adam Rayner.
Right, mate.
And we're also joined by man, the also mystery man, Mr. Nicky Fraser. How are you, sir?
Evening.
So, living to everybody in chat, as you know, this is the 2019 show. This is the last show of 2019, as Christmas Day is on Wednesday and New Year's Eve is on a Wednesday. So this will be the last show. So we might do another show. I might go live during the Christmas period, but this is the last banter. So we'll start with you, Paul. How's your week been? What you have for tea? What you drinking? What you vaping? How's the regular? We've not seen you in 2 weeks.
My week, I'm just busy. This time of the year at work, just busy. Just generally, I have to go on and give fucking bottles of whiskey to people that I don't really like and take their hand and give them Christmas cards and thank them for their services over the course of the 12 months. And we've got some maintenance going on over Christmas that starts on Monday, so I'm busy preparing for that. I found out a couple of weeks, in fact, I found out about 10 days ago that my sister's got breast cancer. And
Sorry, mate.
she had the results today and they're not good. So I'd literally got a phone call off her about an hour ago. She just left the specialist, so she's got to go in tomorrow and have a scan and start some treatment, maybe even as soon as next week. So not a good week. But without being too morbid, I've seen 2 posts today of people, one jumping off a motorway bridge down the road from us, and someone's just jumped into the train track between Birmingham and Coventry, and it just sort of puts into perspective for me that there's just so much more important things in life than being competitive. So,
what a time of year to do it and stuff, though, isn't
yeah,
it?
you know what? I think a lot of it's to do with the fact that it's this time of year, and some people can't do what they feel they should be doing for their family, or I don't know. But
I think loneliness as well, or people, I don't know, losing people even this time of year. And
yeah, I've seen a post yesterday about a young lad who killed himself because his ex-wife had stopped him seeing the kids over Christmas. And all I can say to that is, she cunt. But I've just put a status up, and it's not like so everyone goes, "Oh, Paul, you're a hero." You know, sometimes, and I've put on the status genuinely. It's I can be an arsehole and I can be a cunt and I can fucking say things that I see and it upsets people and offends people. But generally, I think it's good to talk, and it's not even that I've got all the answers, because actually I haven't got the answers. I've only got the answers that apply to my life. But sometimes people just need somebody to talk to, and it's, I don't know, mate. It's just I can remember even as little as 5-6 years ago, I used to think, what a selfish cunt, man. Who the fuck would train? My pal's a train driver. I've got a few pals that are train drivers, and one of them had a jumper who jumped out in the train, and fucking my mate took him out and he's done. And I was like, selfish prick, man. Like, they've got no sort of concept of the impact it has on your life, and the fact that you've gone out to do a job to fucking feed your missus and your kids, pay your balls, and you've just fucking took someone out on the track, which no matter who you are, it's got to play with your fucking head. And I think as the last few years have gone by and I've got a little bit older, I just think how sad it is that someone is in such a dark place that they're only, or they feel that their only step in life now is just to fucking end their life, man. It's fucking tragic. It's tragic. And actually, it could be the difference of talking to someone and not talking to someone, just getting some shit off your chest, or someone telling you that it will be okay, or I don't know. But that's enough for that, man. So I don't want to fucking dampen the show with a load of fucking morbid shit. We'll have some laughs and jokes. It's the last show of the year, but it just seemed to be prominent that as we get closer to these times of the year where we're all lucky enough to have our family around us and stuff like that some people out there that are struggling bad, and actually the reality is that most of them probably aren't even. I bet half of their family and friends will be sat at home tonight saying we didn't have a clue, because they can't even feel like they can speak to someone and say, I'm not fucking feeling right, I'm not in a good place, because modern living doesn't allow people to be honest with their thoughts, which is why I'm so genuinely, it's one of the reasons why I'm so honest, whether it's been abusive cunt or whether it's just enough or whatever. I just feel that it's good not to bottle shit up, good, bad or indifferent, and so yeah, that's me. But apart from that, you know what, I've had a good week. I'm looking forward to finishing work on Friday. I don't go back until hopefully the 6th. I'll find out tomorrow if I'm back on the 6th, which means I've got 2 full weeks off, which is brilliant. We're doing the Polar Express in Birmingham on the train on Saturday with the kids. I don't think the kids know. I'm not sure whether they do or they don't. And we've got the circus booked for Christmas Eve, so that'll be nice, and we'll just do whatever we do in between then and Christmas Eve. And
what's that on Christmas Eve, Paul? What's that on Christmas Eve you're doing?
Circus. So we get to the circus
sweet.
every Christmas Eve, apart from one, because it wasn't in Birmingham and I couldn't be asked to travel.
Like I say, that's a family thing you do every year as a circus. I've never done the Polar Express, but I'd love to do the Polar Express.
Mate, I'm going in pajamas. I'm proper.
Are you really?
I've been bullied into wearing a onesie, man.
Pictures. Tash, if you're watching.
I've
got a onesie so it matches my Yeezys.
You've got to take a mech and do a proper cloud check like next to a steam train.
In a onesie. Next to
And you wouldn't be.
100% they go fucking balls lost his shit.
Tasha said to me, everyone wears pajamas on these things, and I was like, I ain't got pajamas. I don't own a pair of pajamas. And she was like, no.
Yeah, you can't turn up naked. There's loads of kids around.
But yeah, I'm coming in my headwear, man. I've got a pair of Calvin Kleins on, jobs are good. And I messaged Billy and says, mate, they're all wearing pajamas. Do you want pajamas? And he's like, yeah, but you've got to wear them. And I was like, oh, man.
So what kind of onesie are we talking? What have you got?
Yeah, this is juicy across the arse.
I need to get some endless logos on it between now.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you got a plain black one, your jobs are good. You could advertise for free.
I've got a grey onesie, I think, or a navy onesie, or a blue onesie. More onesie as it comes to at the moment. I might be okay.
Next day delivery. Good.
Paul's like that. Yes, I'll go away with it.
I've been to the postman really and fucking threw it in the resold unit. No, I don't want to be fair. I won't wear like normal pajamas. I just thought with the onesie, we've got a jacket on, and my Yeezys, it just look like I've got jogging bottoms on. I'm cool with that.
But everyone else is going to be like they do that quite a lot around here, because there's like, and they do all year round. They do like Harry Potter, the train on Harry Potter, and they do stuff like that for Halloween.
Yeah, I was just about to say, round here, there's just bear tramps walking around in their fucking pajamas.
Yeah. But you always see like they get off on a bus on the train station, they get on a double-decker bus and taken to another train station, and there's hundreds of people just wearing pajamas, and you're like, They're fucking closing that house quick enough, but
We've got to walk through the middle of town, mate, to get to Moore Street Station.
only fools and horses,
on the Sunday before Christmas, it's going to be ramming up there as well.
We might have to all make it up there and cheer you through.
Fucking standing on the bridge.
So Adam, how's your week?
These are the things that I do for my kids, mate.
Best way. So Adam, what have you been up to? How's your week been? What you have for tea?
I had fish, chips and peas made by my mother. Yeah, week's just been hectic, really. Baby's kind of got the snivels, so she's crying her eyes out and you can't leave her alone. Projectile vomited on me yesterday, first time. Yeah, I still love her.
Good lad. Nicky, I know you've had something to eat. What are you had for tea? How's your week been so far, mate?
Week's been fine.
First time ever.
Besides, I had to put up with a cunt today, fucking from school up in the woods. But yeah, that's about it.
What he means to say is that he went on a school trip this morning with our second oldest son. That's what he means to say.
But I also then had to put up with another 53 other cunts kids that are all fucking and then the teachers as well. But I've had a kebab for my dinner.
How's this geezer pass the CRB check? That's what I want to know.
Oh no, I went on this fucking forest trip and I realised he had fucking 6 knives in my pocket.
Oops.
What? The fucking school kids, or what?
It's all because he put the wrong coat on. So.
As well as a rollable saw and a shovel.
Nicky's in the forest. Cunt man starts cutting fucking school kids' bag straps and that.
You just imagine all these fucking strap bags around.
That's what I had on.
You were a fucking tree surgeon.
More or less.
That and the shovel.
You've got to be done for buying a quick there, haven't you?
I've never once ever gone out and got somewhere and gone, fuck, because you've forgot to put a shovel out in my coat pocket.
It was in my bag.
I wouldn't know where the fucking shovel was.
It's only a little foldable one, so it's fine. It's also got a little pickaxe bit on it as well. So.
You didn't confiscate that.
Well, the little bastard behaved near the fire, so it's all good, isn't it?
Oh, do you have a fire on that? What do you actually do?
We had a fire, they toasted marshmallows, they decorated fucking trees with bastard tinsel. And then they played.
Sounds like you had fun.
An hour.
Mate, listen,
you played
now go, fucking had to do this, and I bet he was there. Come on, children! Fucking teeth around his fucking stretcher.
Don't get me near tinsel.
Big tinsel tied around your stretcher.
He's allergic. No, he's allergic to tinsel.
Allergic to tinsel?
Right,
That's
honestly, right?
No.
If you take him down any aisle in any shop that sells tinsel, he sneezes like he smelt bullshit. It's awful.
It's all the glue and all the shit that's on the fucking cheap ass tinsel.
Yeah.
Madness.
I know, I'm about to fuck you up.
You got tinsel, fish, and rhino.
Made with tinsel around the fucking rim of the
Fuck a body bag, mate. I'm wrapping you in tinsel.
It'd work.
And Pix, how's your week been? What you had for tea?
I've had tuna and jacket and salad because Nick got a kebab and didn't ask me. Week's been weird because our daughter's been off. She's not been well. We didn't know if it was foot or mouth. We're not sure still, but she seems all right now. But apart from that, and I had a lovely day out with Nick's mum yesterday in Aberdeen. And yes, I went to Primark, and it was quiet. So yeah, apart from that, not much.
You see, Adam cringed then when you said Primark. Adam's blood were boiling.
I had a really lovely day. But apart from that, just getting ready everything for like Christmas now. I'm wrapped up and everything, and I've got a couple of gifts to send off to like my mum and stuff. I've bought my mum a coffee
is everybody
machine,
ready for
but she don't know yet.
Is everybody ready for Christmas?
I've
getting deliveries for.
I've literally bought. In fact, I think I've bought every single present online. But I do this thing where I buy it and I buy this and I buy that and I buy that, and then I ain't got a fucking clue what I've bought or where I've bought it from, more importantly. So like, I literally don't even know if everything's come because I don't even know what I've ordered and I don't know where I've ordered it from. And some things are ordered through my work email address. Some things are ordered through the sales at SEV because that's registered from back in the day. Some are at fucking Shades at 50 SOB. So I have to keep trawling through thousands of emails to try and remember. And I get emails saying this, you've got a parcel coming from DPD or whatever. I ain't got a clue where it fucking is. So
just land.
Now I ordered some stuff for the kids. I ordered some clothes off like some of the designer sale sites over Black Friday, and I got Bobby a Timberland snowsuit that was reduced from about 150 quid to about 60 quid or something. And it's come from France. And I went and picked it up last night and I opened it and it's blatantly fucking got a dirty slash across the fucking, and it must be where they opened the box of it to send out, and then I've opened it with a standing off and fucking gouged the cunt and motherfucking French pricks. So I messaged them on Facebook this morning and said, I've had this parcel yesterday, the fucking Timberland snowsuit blatantly cut in half. And she said, oh, really sorry. What do you want us to do? Or do you want to? I was like, I want you to fucking send me out another one, you cunt, or send me back my money. And then she, what about if we give you a reduction and you fix it? I swear, I'm not even joking. It's like, it's not even like cotton. It's like, you know, like the material of, like, you know, that light sort of, it's not, you know, like on a body warmer or on a puffer coat, that sort of really flimsy material that if you stand by one of them 1980 bar fires, it'll blow the back out of you. It's made out of that. It's not like you could even sew it. I'd have to literally put a piece of silver duct tape across the middle of the fucking thing. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, just send me my fucking dough back.
So did you get your money back for it?
Well, I've got to send it back to France, then wait for them to get it, then they give me the money back. So I'll probably get the money back about mid-February or something like that, you know what I mean?
And are they paying for you to send it back?
No.
Have you got to pay?
I've got to pay to send it back. So by the time I've done that, I'm also just throw it in the bin and just write off the 60 quid.
Fucking hell.
The joys of ordering online.
I didn't realise it was in France when I bought it, to be honest. I just went on the website and it was cheap. Like for designer stuff, they had some really good sales. They do have some really, really good sales on them sites. And it's still probably more expensive than buying something in Next, but a lot cheaper than what the normal list price is. But then I bought some stuff the other day and I had an email saying it's been dispatched from Italy. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Where am I buying this stuff from? I don't...
Right, so let's get into a bit of an awards then. So we've got some awards and we're going to go off some standard awards, and then we've got some personal awards for people out there, either watching or not. But we'll start off with the best regulated mod. I haven't got any nominations. You literally tell me what is your best regulated mod of this year, and I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Well, we'll wait for 2 seconds then, man. Tell whoever it is to fuck up. You're doing live fucking...
Oh, they're knocking the door. I was like, what's going on? Where's he going?
Tom's just had an Uber Eats delivery.
At least his fucking Christmas tree ain't giving everyone an epileptic fit this week.
I fucking sold that one on eBay.
Marketplace, mate.
No, fuck. One last
I'm
night.
sorry about that.
What have you got one glove on, Tom? Have you been playing golf or fucking posh wanking or something?
No, I've got two. It's my arthritic glove. So yeah, I'm going to make you feel really fucking bad.
fucking toilet roll before the show.
It's an arthritic glove. And it's an arthritic glove. It's really tight on your hand because obviously I'm getting pains in my fingers and down my hands here, so I wear gloves. I've got two.
Didn't Michael Jackson use the same excuse?
No, he definitely didn't use arthritic gloves.
You look like you're working on the fruit and veg store with Martin Fowler.
I can wear two of them. Just one. But
That's no better. That's no better.
Might make you feel really bad for that.
You look like
slagging my gloves off.
Like 80s milkman there with two of them.
all I can think of is the Pokemon Mr. Mime. You look really freaky.
He just looks a cunt because he's wearing gloves in a house.
Sorry, I do apologise that I've got bad hands, you fuckers.
I don't think no one's going to feel bad, Tom.
Right. So, what do we say for best regulated mod? Who's chose the best regulated mod? Who's been using a regulated mod?
I think my vote's got to be the Geek Babe Solo for a single bay regulated mod. I love it. Absolutely love it. I think it's and not only that, like you can bounce. Not that you do, but like you drop your mods all the time, don't you? And it just don't break. Not that I've proper tried, but
I have.
Yeah. Well, I did on the bigger version, the one that first come out. I even used it in the shower to prove a point, and chucked it in the washing up. But yeah, I mean, I like it. It's cheap. It's getting cheaper. Well, yeah, that's the only one I can think
of. What about you, Paul? What have you been using regulated wise?
What have I been using this year? What did I start the year off with?
AO on it. AIO.
No, I didn't actually. I think I probably went into the year on the Zelos. On the Zelos 2, which is the same mod. And I've had the Archery Power this year. But I've been using the Asmodus. I don't even know. Is it the Ludos Komodo or something like that? I don't know. And I mean, for me, I'm not saying this is the mod of the year because I just like Asmodus mods for the money. You just do decent mods, but run of the mill. I'd probably go with Adam, actually, to be honest. But what the fuck do I know?
Right, let's go into another award then. Best overall juice. So it can be any juice you've been using, a juice. What best juices of this year?
Sublime, isn't it?
Best juice.
Best juice of the year. It can be anything, absolutely anything. So it can be a 50-50 or it can be a 70-30. It can be AF. It can be Birmingham Fog. It can be whatever you want.
Yeah, my go-to has got to be Birmingham Fog, the Blue Pup, and Sublime. But I do really like Dr. Vapes, the sour ones. I think they're really nice.
The Kool-Aid and Ixol is my favourite out of all of them.
Dr. Frost Fizz Range or
Here's a question. Do we feel like juices have changed this year, or do we feel like there's been like a hype in a certain juice, as in Mentos or Cooladas? Do you feel like this year that there's been such like a big thing like that? Like last year, it was all about like Cooladas and stuff, wasn't it? Do you think there's been like a boom in certain juice this year?
Yeah, Nick Salts.
Yeah, I was just going to say Nick Salts have took off up the arse.
Nick Salt seems to be fucking everywhere. Everyone's dropping a Nick Salt.
I think there's so many different juice companies out there now with so many different flavours. There's not much out there that's not been made. Like if you specifically want a juice flavour and you look into it hard enough, you'll have something similar, if not what you want.
Here's a question then: what makes an outstanding juice? As in, what makes a juice stand out for you personally? It being different. Is that the only way that juice stands out these days?
You know what?
It being like,
I'd say that if we use blue slush as an example, there's probably 25 million different blue slushes. Probably 20, I don't know. I bet there's 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 different blue slushes on the market. And they range from Birmingham Fog Blue Pup, which is a very, in my opinion, and I'm being brutally honest, I think it's a very bland, not in your face. It's got no coolarder. It's got no sour. It's got no fizz. It's got no slush flavour, actually. It's a blue raspberry type vape. And then you've got some at the opposite end of that, which is fucking packed with flavour, packed with coolarder. It's got a little bit of the slush thing going on. So that, because you can get a slush range that all have got that same back end taste, but they've got the front end grape or lime or whatever. For me, what makes an outstanding juice? Just what? I mean, if I was going to be honest, I'd have to say that Bloodsucker Vampire Vape is my favourite juice in this year. I've vaped it exclusively for the whole of the year. It doesn't fuck my calls up. It doesn't fucking give me any sort of vapor's tongue whatsoever. It satisfies my needs as far as what I need for mouth to lung vaping. So on that level, that is for me what makes an outstanding juice. Is one that you can do bottle after bottle after bottle after bottle. And I think, and I've said it to lots of people who have tried Blue Pup, and I think they're expecting something more than what it is. But I've never once bought Blue Pup and says, I've had enough of that. I can't do no more of that.
Because it's not overpowering because it hasn't got all the other stuff in it. Like when you've got all that other stuff in it, first of all you go, oh, that's nice. But then after you vape it for 2 or 3 days, you're like, I've had a fucking gutful of that. And then you go back to something bland, like you say, with no other coolarders in and nothing, because that's your go-to. Like that's what, like I like my citrus flavours. So Sublime, I can vape it all day, every day. But it's just you fucking run out, and then like, I've got a room full of 32 litres of juice, and I'm not going to not use it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So you find yourself using it, and some of them are nice, but you just get sickly and you just get fed up with it.
And for me, that's what makes an outstanding juice. Is a juice that you if someone give you 100 bottles of it and you baked it all back to back and finished it off. That I mean, I've tried some juices that are outstanding, but I could not vape 100 ml of it. So for me, the fact that I can't do 100 ml of it then completely knocks it straight off the outstanding list. But to actually vape it and get the essence of what that flavour is supposed to be and all the other things that go along with it, fantastic. But for me, it's about longevity. And for any juice company, unless you're in a position, I mean, if you take Dr. Frost Ice Grape, that's got to be on the market for 2 years maybe, and it still sells equally as well as it did when we first launched it. And the certain Zeus juice, the black, has been selling in that way for fucking 6 years since Zeus. Yeah. In fact, Paul Curtis had that liquid before it was Zeus Juice as a company when he used to make it himself. That juice has always sounded outstandingly well. You've got the likes of anything where. And there's lots of, it's like even if you look at V Juice's line, they had 60 or 70 flavours, but actually they probably had the top 10. And out of that top 10, I'd say about 4 or 5 of them were regular, repetitive, Purple Rain, your tuned in cherry. And it's that sort of, it's capturing that in whatever you're doing in liquid, it's capturing that. And it's having that repeat flavour that someone wants all the time. And if you can staple that and then bring out flash flavours around, a lot of people used to say, oh yeah, fucking Dinner Lady Lemon Tart, it was a one-hit wonder. It might well have been, but it's probably one of the most synonymous liquids that's ever been launched in the industry. And sometimes you only need one flavour to do that for you. And whether we like it or whether we don't, IVG completely smashed it with blue millions. And it's something that put them on the map. It's something that people wanted, and it kept selling, and it kept selling, it kept selling. So that's what makes an outstanding flavour for me. Something that, if that was the only thing you had in the house and you had lots of it, going back to it and keep going back to it and keep going back to it.
I think it's tough, me personally, like doing like giving people like awards for juice, because as you say, if it's not a staple juice and it can carry on, like I've done exactly what you said, Paul, about vaping a juice and going, yeah, I could vape that, and then after 10, 15 mil of it, you're like, no, not a chance. But then to me, that's not something that everybody would use.
No.
But yet again, because juice is so subjective, I feel like it's a harsh thing to say that, you know, that's not any good. Once again, it goes back to people saying, juice reviews. I don't understand juice reviews personally, because everyone's got a different flavour.
No, and that's the whole point, is that a liquid that I can vape all day, every day, doesn't mean that Adam can vape it all day, every day. It doesn't mean that you can, Nicky can, Pixie can, or anybody else in the country can. And I can remember when we first opened that shop, people would come in and ask, I'm not even going to try and remember a flavour of liquid, but they'd come in and ask for something, and I'd say, yeah, I'll give you an example, Rob. If I'm going to buy a range of liquids, 9 times out of 10, if I was left to my own devices, I'd never pick up the watermelon flavour in that range, because I fucking hate watermelon. And I would say that watermelon is probably one of the most staple flavours across all of e-liquid of all time gone by, that is there in the biggest selling liquids, because it's fresh and it's refreshing and
Fucking
it's
hate watermelon.
not
I know, you're right.
my thing. So, and yet one of the nicest liquids that I tried last year was my liquid, the watermelon mint, which is watermelon spearmint, and it's fucking like next level refreshing, because the spearmint overrides the bit of the watermelon that I don't like, but there's enough of the freshness of the watermelon left in there to give it a completely mad. If someone said to me, do you want to try this spearmint watermelon? I'd be like, what happened that day in the lab that you decided to even fuck them two flavours together? And yeah, it works, and it worked really, really well. But that, I can only say that from my perspective. I can't say that from no one else's perspective. And when I used to work in the shop and people would come in and say, oh, come on then, boss man, what fucking liquid should I have? And I'd say, you know what, I love the donuts. I vaped gallons of donuts back in the day and still enjoy it now. It's still a liquid that if I had the bottle of it, I'd smash the bottle of it. And 50% are coming and say, oh, give us another bottle of donuts, Gaffer. The other 50% are coming and go, mate, that stuff you sold me last week's fucking shit. I'm like, well, you asked me what I like, I told you. I'm still vaping it myself. It's here in my hand. I'm not lying to you. I like it. I can't guarantee that you're going to like it. So knock yourself out on the flavour bar. When you find something you like, buy it, because I can only be subjective from my opinion on a liquid, which is what I've always said. Even though I don't like watermelon, I don't like mango, I can still vape a mango liquid and fully appreciate that it's a good liquid. I just don't like it. I can vape a mango and know that it's fucking nasty, and it should never be in that bottle for any cunt to vape, let alone me who don't like it. But it's knowing the difference between a good liquid that I don't like and a bad liquid that is shit. And
Yeah, you're right there, 100%.
Lemon tart, Just Jam, 2 flavours for me that stick out, particularly because they were both launched at the same weekend at Expo in Birmingham back in 2000 and I want to say 2016. And them 2 flavours for me at that particular time in our industry were game changers, because they were the 2 most authentic tasting liquids that it's what it said on the bottle. Because that donut that came out before that was nice and sweet, and you could taste the jam, but it didn't taste like a sugar glazed jam donut dumped in fucking jam. It just tasted like a really sweet, cakey type fucking whatever it tasted like. Actually, Just Jam tasted like fucking strawberry jam, and lemon tart tasted like lemon curd tart. It just did. And there's other people that say lemon tart was shit. It's not shit. It's just not to your liking.
Exactly.
I think any reviewer worth his salt. Well, I remember when Gavin, Gavin Tank Blake review day off, and he said to me, I fucking hate Grump. And he said, it's not because Grump's shit, it's just because I fucking hate grape, but I can appreciate the mix, I can appreciate the blend. If you like grape, you'll love the liquid, but it's just not for me. But there's other people that go, and when people do that on a fucking liquid video, it fucking bores my shit.
I'm going to start doing that now.
What are you doing now? Fucking vape it like you're vaping. That's how you're going to get the taste that you're going to taste when you're vaping. But there's not a bit of wine and fucking go, yeah, go on. Have a glass of that. You don't fucking drink your wine like that, do you? You fucking glug it down your neck. Do you know what I mean? So glug the taste, and if it's right, pour some more and glug some more. Dr. for me this year has, along with Dr. Frost, they work damn hard to promote their product. They travel the world. I'd say Dr. Vape, for me, as a range of liquids, across all of his ranges, and for me, that stuff was one of the best ranges of last year that was staple across every flavour. There was flavours in there that weren't my cup of tea, but actually as a range of liquids, it was the first range of liquids that I took on wholesale with every flavour for a long time, because we got to the point where we started cherry picking because we already had 6 watermelons, or we already had fucking 33 different donuts, or we already had fucking whatever. So, but his range of that stuff was the first time in a long time I said, you know what, I'll take the whole range across the board, and we put both all the flavours, the whole range in both shops. And he's done the same thing with the pink series, with the cold series, and he makes good liquid. I am my little boy. And I think he does a good job of doing what he does, and I think Miles at Dr. Frost is exactly the same. He's got 6, 8 staple flavours. He just dropped the fizz line, which I tried in Germany, and it's quality. But then not only has he done that, he then personally gets behind the brand like Moaz at Dr. Vapes, and they push it, and they run it for all it's worth. And I say for a range of liquid in a shop, I would say up until earlier this year, 6 Licks was the most stable range we'd ever stocked. That was a repetitive range that we continually stock, that people continue to buy. Yo, what you doing? What you doing? So look, 6 Licks was just one of them ranges where we constantly stocked it. We stocked all the flavours, and every time we run out, we restocked it on all the flavours. Over the course of this year, that's died off with 6 Licks. However, Dr. Frost, I wouldn't say all the flavours, because we've never stocked all the flavours, because we stock the ones that sell, but the ones that sell still sell well. Yo, come here.
What about you, Tom? What gets your vote?
For best overall?
Hello, little man.
Yes, mate. Yo,
It's a big, isn't he?
yo, what's happening, mate?
Look at that full head of hair.
I'm just going to say he's got so much hair. He's got more hair than his dad.
Best overall for me, I think that's such a hard thing to say. I honestly do. I think Paul's explained it so well. The fact is that it is very hard, and I'm very much a person who's like, I can appreciate hardware more than appreciate it.
What do you reckon you bake the most of?
Sublime, 100% Sublime. I absolutely love Sublime. I even turned Sublime into Nick Salt. Like I got the bottle, and then added Nick's, added salt to it to make it into a Nick Salt. It's fire. I absolutely love Sublime. Sublime's my favourite juice, 100%. Sorry to be biased and all that, but yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
So Sublime getting it then, yeah?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I know Nicky would say the same, so probably, yeah.
Well, I mean, for me personally, I'm not even going to call none of these votes really, because everyone will go. Otherwise, we go best mech, dirtier, best RDA, 17th year running. I mean,
that's no brainer, though, isn't it?
I'd say, for me personally, I'd say Dr. Frost. As a company, that produces e-liquid, without a doubt, have been the most.
No offense, Paul, but you're outvoted. Sublime gets it.
Well, I'll go with that.
You can now put on the new labels next year, award winning.
Yeah, I'll get a new fucking. I'll get Jack to put a banner on the fucking website now. Officially vote use of the year 2019.
voted by the consumer.
That's it. Right, next one. And this is one that I've not seen actually anybody do, but the most innovative product of the year.
Definitely 100%. I don't care what any of you said. I'm the Alpha 3 bottle opener.
Yeah,
That's
actually.
done. Next.
Next.
I tuned into Banter Talk last night, only very briefly, because I literally tried to watch the video on Facebook and I had to download Switch or whatever it's called. And I thought when I downloaded that, I was going to have fucking that come from VIP Vapors on my screen, just looking at it. I'm only joking if you're watching. I downloaded Switch, watched the video, but the only bit that I watched it for about 5 minutes, and actually what they were saying was that this year generally has been quite slow in innovation, in new products.
Yeah.
And there's a mixture of two things. For me, again, as someone that's manufactured and retail, there's been a downturn retail-wise from a manufacturing point of view. I feel like 99% of things have been innovated, and I would say that the best RDA to drop this year, without a doubt, in my opinion, is the Asgard from Vapor Spray. Because the way that it worked, the flavour of it, the fact that they put beauty rings back on there, that was something that used to be on fucking RDAs 6 and 7 years ago. And just, for me, the Asgard was the best RDA of 2019. There's lots of people that are scared to put their money into products because the industry is just not doing the same thing. And
I mean, how much further do you reckon we can go with vape products in general? Like,
to be honest, mate, I think for the price point that we sell for now, probably not much further. Now, there's ways of making extremely intricate, clever RTAs, RDAs, but the truth of it is, what you're getting out of even if you say slam them now, we released that original one 3 years ago, and for me, it's still easy to call up. You've got good airflow control on it. It gives good flavour. It looks decent on the mud. Where'd you go? Where'd you go from there? Apart from then, doing different things with it. So,
well, at what point does it then become overcomplicated? Because the normal person that's going to use an IPA, I mean, would they appreciate it? Because half of them won't even know what it does. It's the same as on my phone. My phone, I don't know what half of it fucking does, but it does a technical. I get to go on Facebook.
I make phone calls. I use social media and I use email on my phone. That's pretty much what the experience more knowledge using my phone. And yet, Jack will go on his fucking mobile and he'll go, "Oh, I've just hacked into fucking Lloyd's Bank," or you know what I mean. He just now, you know what? I love seeing new products come out. I love looking at them, and there's time. Look, certainly, if I go back 3 years ago, and we dropped a lot of new product back to back, and there was lots of product that I spoke about, and I was like, "Will that work? Won't it work?" And then some cunt to bring it out, and it smashed it. And I'll be like, "Bastard! I should have done it." And it's like now I feel like lots of people are starting to take the best bits of all things and sticking them together and trying to make not a hash of things, but actually picking a good deck along with a good airflow design and a good chamber and a nice juice well, and putting it all together and slightly tweaking it, slightly changing it. There's literally only so many ways you can skin a cat. And for me, this year, Vapors Cloud as a company have continued to innovate. They've continued to bring out new stuff. They bought out a triple series box mod. And yes, we've been stacking tubes for as long as Endless has been around. Certainly that changed the way people started stacking tubes. But actually to stick three, and I'm not saying this to say, oh, we were talking about doing a triple last year, and as it goes, I just never got around to it. They've done it. It's been successful. It's a good mod. They make good products. They use a good machine shop in China. and manufacture good stuff. So, but I think for innovation this year, I've got to say the Alpha 3 was something where when everyone's seen it that first back in May at Expo, everyone was like, fucking hell, this is exactly what I needed all this time to open my fucking juice bottles. Why the fuck isn't it there? And the fact that it's grown by 65 million different Chinese companies in 6 weeks speaks volumes about the basicness of something that's needed, that everyone says, I need something to open these fucking bottles. There's people that have only got 4 fingers on this hand now because they've took one off trying to get the fucking lid off a bottle with scissors. Or there's vapors out there that are missing digits, vapors out there that have got screwdrivers through the palms of their hand. And yet Rick was like, if I do this and do that, it's a nice little compact design. I've still got mine on my keychain. Our staff still using them.
I've got mine.
And so, for me, I'm going to say that Alpha 3 is the most innovative product of 2019. But you guys,
that lance that turned into a charging lead, that impressed me. I still say it.
What's that?
You know, like the key chain thing, the lance, whatever it's called, and then you put it apart and it turns into a charging lanyard. I like that. Yeah, but nothing's like, both of them are not like actual vaping. It's just like a byproduct of vaping, isn't they?
Here's a question, though. Here's a question. Do we feel like innovation has slowed down because the vapor has become lazier?
I think it's I think it's twofold, maybe even threefold. The consumer has become lazier without a doubt because they don't want to spend every night fucking about coiling, wicking and building. But when they do want to do it, they can do it, but they don't want to have to do it just to use the device. The industry has slowed down probably 50% of what it was 3 years ago. And then you've got the manufacturers saying, where the fuck should I put my money? Because, and certainly, I mean, Vapors Cloud are in a different league to us completely because they don't do 200 mods on a run. They might do 5,000 or 4,000 or 2,000 or 1,000, much bigger numbers than what we're running. But they've got an output through America. James at Evolution's obviously got a massive output across Europe, so he's got the ability to move bigger numbers. But his investment to do that is cheaper per unit than me, and I know it would be, but he's putting a lot more money into every single drop that they do because they're producing a lot more products. So you've got to have big ball, I think, to start saying, you know what, we're going to do something completely off the cuff here, and we're going to do something completely bad. And the companies that do that will be successful. And we've not been particularly good at doing that this year. We dropped the Dirtier back in May. We've got the Constant Contact Solid Fire one. I've genuinely been trying to do some deal with China to get the Sherman back out there, and I'm struggling. And I wanted to try and get it launched for London Expo, and it probably won't happen because really, in reality, we've got 6 weeks after Christmas for that to happen. And during that time, there's a Chinese shutdown, so it probably won't happen for London. I'm going to try and get something launched in May. But I think it's a combination of all sorts of things. Tom, I say the industry this year, certainly the last 6 months, has seen a particular downturn because of the shit in America and THC and death and big tobacco getting involved. And
do you think that's anything to do with the mouth to lungs coming out a lot more as well?
It's just ease, isn't it? The industry, the products are so much easier, aren't they?
Yeah.
We know that even at its height, the hobbyist sub-ohm vapor was still such a small percentage of the industry. But it was very, very lucrative. I'm not going to lie and say it weren't good for us because it was good for shops, it was good for the manufacturers, it was massive for juice companies because everyone was using 25 times more juice a day and all that sort of stuff. It was still a very small percentage of the overall industry of vaping, not to smoke. And I think that a lot of people that done it as a hobby have lost that passion that they had when new product was dropping week after week after week after week. A lot of people were fooling themselves that they'd give up smoking and they were sub-ohming, and in reality, I do believe that lots of people was vaping and smoking, but just pretending not to smoke. And some of them people, I'd say a lot of them people actually are now properly mouth-to-lung vaping, not to smoke cigarettes. Some of them have said, fuck it, I'm not fucking vaping sub-ohm or mouth-to-lung, I'm just going to go back to my fags. The industry's changed, the consumer's changed. I think there's still lots of people sub. I mean, the good thing about sub-ohm is because it's so commonplace now to be able to go and buy a sub-ohm tank and a regulated device, and they come as kits in 99% of the cases. There's still lots of people that sub-ohm vaping that don't really know about that scene that we were all involved in. And that was the whole point of Mod Wars Worldwide. It was the whole point of the cloud competition in October. It's the whole point of the cloud competition in May next year, is to actually say to people, like I said on the live feed right after Expo, in my opinion, this is quite aside from not smoking cigarettes. This is something that you can do that's enjoyable. You can have a laugh and a joke. You can meet people. You can talk to people. You can discuss fucking building tactics with people, best way to build. And back in the day, like I said, the likes of Mikey Sub-Ohm would have 24 gauge on one side of his RDA, 20 gauge on the other side. One was designed to get a fucking ramp up quick. One was designed to kick in like a mule by the time he was on his inhale. And it was all that clever stuff about how do I produce the most vape for a 3 or a 5 second inhale. So then it becomes a little bit, fuck you, you're not looking at my deck. You're not seeing what I've got in there. And then that just creates a little bit of, I need to do something better than what Mikey's doing. I can remember Mikey winning the Cloud Comp at Vape Fest with the Kennedy. And the Kennedy was far from a cloud RDA.
Yeah.
It wasn't designed to be a cloud RDA. Yes, you could get a decent cloud out of it. But actually, you can get a decent cloud out of anything if you know how to get the best out of what you've got. And that's what it was about. And I feel like out-the-box vaping has just changed people's mindsets on the effort they want to put into a hobby. They're just doing it because they do it.
Nick Humphries made a good comment. He said, AIO systems are taking over in my eyes. All the big hardware manufacturers are only making AIO systems now, Smok, Vupu, etc. But I feel like
they're just going to go with the craze anyway, I think.
That's exactly what I'm going to say. Just the in thing, and everyone sort of closed systems. That's what people currently want. So I feel like they follow crowd anyway. Big companies would be silly not to follow crowd.
Is that I've made to long vape right from the get-go. I've never not made to long vape. And even when I was sat here, and I used to use a mech every night. I'd have a mech with me at work. I'd have a mech with me in the car. I'd have a mech with me on the live feeds. And I'd never got the mech out going, shit, I'm on a live feed. I best go and get my mech. I've got 24 mech built in the living room. But even when I would sit there and I would vape non-stop on a tube, every 15 or 20 minutes, I'd pick up my mech and I'd vape it like I'd have a cigarette. And I've never not done that. And if I was vaping sub-ohm all day long on some seriously low builds, on double stacks, triple stacks, quad stacks, whatever I was using, still use my mouth to lung. So when I see people saying mouth to lung's taking over, for me, it's never not took over. For me, our business has always been more mouth to lung than it has sub-ohm. So it's obviously, there's lots of people that came into this industry right in the center of a fucking mad sub-ohm hobby, boom, call it whatever you want to call it. And now they're seeing the change, but we've always sold more mouth-to-lung devices in our shops than we've ever sold sub-ohm. We converted a huge amount of people to sub-ohm when it was a big thing, but most of them were still mouth-to-lung. And maybe that's because of more sales mantra to them. We don't fall into thinking that this will keep you off the cigarettes, because it probably will. I don't know. Maybe that's just the way that we sold the devices in our shop. I haven't got a clue. But I was pleased when the mouth-to-lung thing sort of, everyone was going, oh, it's coming back in, because for me, as someone that was using, I had fucking scoundrels worth hundreds of pounds, AVs worth hundreds of pounds, and actually I was using a fucking £25 AO because there was nothing decent on the market for mouth-to-lung vape. Because
you never had that's what I'm saying, you never had that option, did you? There was no option for you. Like, I remember AO.
In the industry, every manufacturer was like, fuck, sub-ohm, let's do sub-ohm.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was talking to Igel 2 years ago, and we was in the middle of the biggest, most successful period of sub-ohm vaping as far as this whole industry is, I was still saying to her, mouth-to-lung is the way that if I was going to work with you, I'd want to go down the mouth-to-lung route, because I still believe it's the most stable part of the industry. There's lots of people that have not so much to put out very expensive product, but nice looking mouth-to-lung devices that you could take out on a night out, the same as you would pick up your best mech mod to go to a vape meet. I was just limited on devices that I could use that was nice, that looked nice, not necessarily expensive. And now, I mean, I don't know what that setup cost me, 200 quid maybe. And I think the mod's about £200 on its own. And I got the mod for €100 in Germany. I got the tank for 70 odd euro in Germany in May. So, and I've used that tank exclusively since May. I'm still on the same first coil that I put in there when I got back.
No fucking way.
I swear to God, I put a build in there myself. The first time I used it on a live feed, and I just built it before we went live, and it was a little bit warm, and I rebuilt it, and it was perfectly fine. And in that week, Ollie Deeks sent me some fuse Claptons, about 0.1, I think they are, 0.108. This is reading 8. It used to read 1.08 it is now. It used to read 1.01. I put that in there, I would say June. So we come back from Stuttgart, arse end of May, was it? In fact, it was the end of May, early June. So I'd say by the middle of June, I've got this coil in there off Ollie Deeks, and I'm still running the same coil.
Fucking 6 months.
And I've used this tank every single day exclusively, with no exception as far as motor is concerned. I fill it up anything between 3 and 5 times a day, depending on how my day is or where I am and how much I can use it. And I'm still on the same coil. And I re-wicked it 2 days ago at work, and I took the cotton out and I pressed it and I paused it. I run it under the tap and it just glows up perfectly fine. I re-wick it, fill it up, bang, smack, crack on with it. And I've still got 3 more coils in there. So at this rate, I don't have to buy another coil until 2023, man. I'm loving life.
Right. So the last one on sort of the generic things, I'm going to say, what's the most improved brand? So what do we believe somebody out there has shined this year? Who's shined the most? It can be anything, absolutely anything, from goggles to Jews to, if we could say they've done really well this year, who would you say is outshined? Like, who would you say, Paul?
Sorry, go on.
Go on, Pixie. Go on, Pixie.
I was going to say Smock's coils, because not once this year, since they've brought out the new design and the new way they do coils, has anyone bitched at me about them. And I've actually tried quite a few for review, and they've actually really upped the game. They don't die within 2 days anymore. I just think they're really improved what they do with the coils.
So I think,
what about you?
You know what? Again, I'd say from my perspective, I agree. I think this year for me that manufacturers is the first year where they've started saying this is a problem, we need to sort this out. And I'm talking about Chinese manufacturers, mass-produced stuff, whether that be Geek Vape, Smock, and all others. So I think they've all markedly improved what they do. For brands that have had the biggest awareness this year, I think Maxim at Death Wish does a fantastic job of still continuing to sell decent numbers of Met mods to his audience. I think Vapors Cloud have generally had a very successful year where they've brought out good product repeatedly over the course of the year. And I come back to Mo at Dr. Vapes and say, as a brand, from where he was last year to where he was now, I mean, if you think, Tom, when we done the Endless Tour in 2017, we went to the Vaporium Cafe in London. Mo was there. I tried the blue stuff in a bottle with no label on it that he made himself, and they were telling me how fantastic it was, and I vaped it, and it was nice, and all them other good things. It's 2017. Last year was his first year really of doing expos. 2019 for me, Mo's took a brand and took it worldwide, and he smashed it around the world. But he works fucking tirelessly at doing what he does, and he's just a genuinely nice bloke. He's got good products, he's got good branding. So again, I'll come back to, I would say, Dr. Vapes as a company just do what they do exceptionally well. And it's him. He hasn't got a multinational behind him. It's him making his liquid, and he's got a few members of staff that work with him, and he's got family members that are involved and all that stuff. So I don't know, for me, I like that doing good things.
It also helps that he's a good person as well, isn't it? That he's got good management.
I think the industry now, accept who's genuine and who's arsehole. And I think there's some people who know he's just a genuinely nice bloke, and he's just does what he does, and he does it well, and he's always got that smile on his face, and I'm sure some guys, I feel like he's the sort of person that, like, he's all smiles and then he goes home and back with his missus, man, because he had a fucking shit down there. I'm not suggesting for a minute that we're not about, but I've never once even seen him remotely pissed off, and I'm sure it happens. I'm sure he has bad days, but he's exceptionally good at fronting that business and doing what he does. So, for me, the brand growth in 2019 for Dr. Vapes and the company, for me, is exceptional.
What about you, Nicky?
I'll say your best gay buddy that works on the farm, Kevin.
The most improved. What, his personality?
Well, yeah, he's gone from kind of being a bitch little Barbie doll to actually being.
I would like to say I have got an award later on for Kev. I have got an award later on for Kev.
To actually being to the point now where he's like, actually, I am going to put what I'm doing into this and put it into practice and actually get the product out there for people to use that I enjoy and other people can enjoy. So I think Kevin's actually
stuff,
and his KRV vaping or whatever it is with all these delete box stuff is actually doing quite well from what I've seen. Say no one heard of him in really May to where he was at last Expo, where he had people going over and he had smashed it in some decent distros like Evo and a few other places.
Yeah, Paul put him on, didn't he? Paul put him on well, thanks to Paul. What about you, Adam? What are you agreeing with Paul with Dr. Vapes?
I don't know, yeah, Dr. Vapes, I mean, as well as like they've got Nick on now. Nick's a very good friend of mine. But I mean, they're just brilliant what they do. And I mean, like you say, I don't think there's any of their juices that I dislike. And even down to like, I mean, his passion for vaping in general, it kind of rubs off when you're around him. So yeah, it's good. Yeah.
As well as his ties on his BM, they rub off quite a lot.
Right. So the next award is for the personality of the year. Right. I'm biased. This is where I start kissing stars. I've got to give Paul, me personally, I've got to give Paul personality of the year. The reason I give that is because there is fucking people out there on Facebook who are waiting daily for Paul's statuses, for his live feeds to fucking rant and just say what everybody else wouldn't fucking say. And for him just to do that, for me personally, the access that people have to vendors is mad to me, because you can't get hold of fucking Bill Gates and ring him up, but you can get access to fucking people in the industry. And for Paul every morning to go, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to tell everybody that they're all cunts and just have a giggle with it. So me personally, that anybody out there that thinks Paul's an arsehole, he's probably an arsehole because you're an arsehole. So get to know the geezer and you'll probably absolutely fucking love him because he's a top bloke. And personality here for me is Mr. Harrison, 100%. 100%.
No, I mean... I'll graciously accept that. No, I mean, you know, I feel like this year there's lots of. I mean, even if you look at us, like we've got an ambassadors chat, and actually there's lots of things that we talk about in that chat that back in the day would be spoken about in a group. And when you're in the group, you get more people joining, and the group expands. And it's one of the things I've been thinking over the last few weeks is how many topics that we're discussing, not non-vape related, because obviously we'll talk any old shit in that group depending on what the fucking day of the week is and what's happening. But we still talk a lot of vape related stuff in that group that for me should be on one of our groups. And it's because it's just us 10 or 12 or what, I don't even know how many people are in the group, but it's the same people, the same people that get involved. And I just feel like there's lots of personalities out there. And you've got Ian, who's a personality, whether you like him or whether you think he's an absolute cock, he's got a personality that some people love, some people hate, and some people can just get along with. There's lots of people in the industry that have got different personalities. always feel like I'm trying to justify myself when we have these conversations about being honest and stuff. But for me, I just have a little bit of comfort in the fact that people who, when I hear regularly at various expos and various meets and meeting people in the industry, you have a good old chat with them, and they either tell me to my face there and then, or they inbox me afterwards and say, I just wanted to say thanks for that chat. I always thought you were a bit of a prick, but actually you're not that bloke. And it's like, even if you take the last 3 weeks as a snapshot of 2019, I have rattled so many people about fucking voting Labour just for shit. And on the night before election day, I put a post out saying, vote for whoever you think is going to do the best for you in your life. Because for me personally, I don't think it makes an ounce of difference whether Boris Johnson's in fucking number 10, Jeremy Corbyn's in number 10, or I'm in number 10. I don't believe they've got the power.
I think there would be a bit of a difference.
Number 10, the only difference would be I'd have some dirty, bare loud music on just for jokes. Me personally, I don't believe that they're fronting the job of running the country and all that good stuff. I'm not convinced they've got the power that's needed to make the decisions that need to change it, and someone higher than them decides how it goes. That's just my personal opinion. So it just rattled me that I see people saying, oh my God, look what fucking Boris Johnson's doing. And then when someone shares something about what Jeremy Corbyn's doing, the same people are saying, well, that's bullshit, that is. You can't believe everything you read in the fucking newspaper. And I'm saying, well, you've just shared the link, you dickhead. Or discrediting Boris, right? So why can you discredit that one, but this one's bull? You've just endorsed that one and said, yep, this bloke's a cunt. But now you're trying to defend your people because, and I get that it's human nature to do that. I get that it's human nature, and if you're on a certain side, you're gonna fight your cause. That's what people do. And more than anything, it just makes me smile. I'm sat at home smiling, thinking, as if that cunt's that triggered. That they're blocking me on Facebook, they're deleting me on Facebook. I'm just like, actually, you need to get a grip of your life, because the only person's life that primarily you should be concerned about is yours. Not even your missus, not even your kids, man, your own. And I've said it to a few of my closest pals, and I know for a fact I've said it to Tom. But if you do not put yourself first as a person, you're never going to be the best you. And if you're not the best you, your missus aren't getting the best you, and your kids aren't getting the best you. So as much as people might say, oh, it's selfish to put yourself first, for me personally, the most important person in my life to be happy is me. And the reason why I say that is because if I'm at my happiest, then I know that Tasha gets a better version of me and my kids get a better version of me. So it's not a selfish thing saying fuck everyone else. It's just about me. It's just about me being happy. And yes, I have to make sacrifices. I have to do things that I don't particularly want to do. And if that's only going up in the loft to get the Christmas tree out at that particular minute, or whatever it might be, there's times where I just want to say, I don't want to do it, but I do it because life ain't about just saying no. Do you know what I mean? But it's also about making sure that as a person you are content and happy with life, and then anyone else that's in your circle of loved ones or family and friends just get a better version of you. So that's me in a nutshell. And I just feel like there's lots of people still fake as fuck. I feel like there's lots of people that say things that they feel they should say. And anyone that knows me personally knows that I can be Jekyll and Hyde within an hour. I can be having statuses up on there that's me being angry and fucking abusing every tongue that I see. And within an hour, change, because I just feel better. Maybe I needed that vent. Maybe that's my way of just clearing my head and fucking starting afresh. I don't know. But I'm not fake. I don't bullshit. I am what I am. And if you don't like me for that, I'm not fussed. I'm not on Facebook to have 62 million friends and they all know me personally and they all can phone me up at Christmas and wish me a happy Christmas. I've got a circle of people on Facebook that I interact with. I've got a circle of people on Facebook that all would message if I feel like they need to message me. And I know that they know they can message me when they need to message me. There's lots of people on my Facebook that are there because we run a vape business. And that's not to say that I wouldn't interact with them and I wouldn't speak to them and I wouldn't talk to them. But I am what I am. And if you don't like me, I mean, it used to annoy me that people would say, fucking that Paul Harrison's a prick. And then they're blowing smoke up the arse of someone who I know is fake as fuck. Like properly the person that they proclaim to be on Facebook. Because I know these people in real life. It's not my job to blow these people out of the water. And slowly but surely over the course of time, all of them, bar none, have been outed for the they are of their own, on their own team. And there's people that I see now on the daily that I think your day will come. Your day will come where you believe your own hype that much that you blow yourself out the fucking water. It's not my job to do that. It's not no one's job to do it. But it is what it is, man. People are on there. And without getting all too political, I do honestly believe, and I've said it months on months on months about switching Facebook off if I owned it. I do believe that a lot of people's pressures in life is just purely down to social media and people's need to want to impress. They've lived a full. I seen a status earlier that made me laugh, and it was a girl who was actually just joking. But the status was, I've been asked to go out on a date, but the bloke, I've been asked by a bloke to go out on a date, but the filter that I use on Snapchat isn't available in my makeup set. I honestly believe that that's a genuine problem where people are living such a fake life to impress people that they do not know from Adam. That they then become this. You have to sort of recluse yourself because you can't go out, because if someone sees you, you're not the person that you've been claiming to be every day on Facebook. And I see people on my own friends list that I know in real life. I know where they live. I know them. And I sit there thinking, who the fuck are you? Who is that status aimed at? I know that you do not bake cakes with your kids, man. I know that you don't. I know that you're a fucking sniffhead. And actually, your priority. Yeah, I'm being serious. I'm being serious, man.
That's true. Yeah.
And I haven't got a problem with anyone sniffing. I've not got a problem with anyone injecting heroin. I've not got a problem with anyone smoking weed. But just be you. Just be you. If you're a fucking baghead, say that you're a baghead and you're living your best life. That. But there is too many people that are literally trying to just fucking live a bullshit Facebook life, and that's just, and it causes pressure. It causes massive amounts of pressure and stress in my opinion.
Is the wife in the room, Paul?
Yeah, she's got the pressure and stress of all.
Well, I'll give her a award while she's in the room. I've got her award down as most understanding wife award goes to Tash.
You fucking all needs this styling.
That's Tash's award, most understanding wife.
Huh?
I said that's Tasha's award, most understanding wife of 2019.
I'm boss.
Round nose.
Yeah. I give you personality of the fucking year. What are you talking about?
I think I've got the fucking personality of the year.
I thought I would have voted for Tasha instead of Paul because she puts up with it.
Hey!
Fucking lordy, man.
Well, that part was off me today. That's what it is.
I've had nothing. I've had nothing.
I'm bribing him.
Right, let's go to the next award. So I'm going to go for the next award goes for Pixie, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere award. It's 5 o'clock somewhere award, and this is for Pixie getting absolutely arseholed earlier on in the year at Expo.
That was last October. You dick. That was well over a year ago, right?
Well, I still remembered it as this year, so yeah, you'll get that it's 5 o'clock somewhere award.
I haven't drank at Expo since like 3 Expos ago. That's terrible.
Oh well, sorry, I had you down for that one.
I'll just renew it in May next year. It's fine.
That's
No,
absolutely fine.
you stick to fucking not drinking at expos, man. It suits you.
See, we all remember.
Adam's not allowed to drink at bonfires, and Pixie's not allowed to drink.
Do you know I ain't drunk in England since that day?
That's
I
a
haven't
good
drunk.
thing. That's a good thing.
Every time when I go on holiday, I get fucking plastered.
Okay, right. So the next one, this is the award I'm giving to Kevin, and it's happiest man in vaping. This goes to Kevin Lester, the happiest man in fucking vaping. Kev, we know you're not happy. That's why you got this award.
I
would have voted for Mr. Personality, if I'm honest.
The happiest. And also, the hardest working in vaping goes to Phil at Expo, but that's only twice a fucking year. And I know he's watching, so the hardest working in vaping is Phil from the Expo, but that's only twice a year.
Oh, no, it's 3 times a year now because we've got London.
Yeah, but that's next year, so you can have it next year for 3 times a year. But yeah, next year. Right, and also, your award is It's 5 o'clock somewhere award. And it stuck that much in my memory that I just had to give you the award for that one. So the next one is for the randomest cunt, and that has to go to fucking Ian Anderson. The randomest cunt in vaping award. There you go. So you have got your own award as requested.
I didn't know you could.
You got the cup back, right?
I would say that award should be the most randomest person in the world award, and it should go to Nika.
Yep.
Can only go out on a school trip with a fucking samurai sword.
And a shovel. And a fucking shovel.
And a shovel.
Fucking good job it weren't in London, weren't it? It'd have got fucking tasered and everything.
No, he wouldn't. Not if he'd got his fucking taser drawn first, he wouldn't have done.
It's not like a good fucking hide either.
What's that?
All your knives were in a fucking iris. That just has arrest me on it.
Right, I should explain the reason. If he put the wrong coat on, he works on behalf of the Forestry Commission, which is why he carries these things. Because when he goes to the wood, he cuts down all the stuff that's in the path for the cyclists.
Yeah, that's what Peter. That's what fucking Peter Sutcliffe used to say, man.
I know, right? I know.
I'm only carrying this in case I need to use this chainsaw to cut down a tree. Fuck off, mate.
Chainsaw's getting bought next year.
You get a cordless one. It's nice and quiet on the startup. You'll be able to get people more surprised with the gun.
Can't wait to see the size of that
little bastards around. I don't need to start an electric one when I fucking walk around all this shit.
We've got some awards that I need you to vote on. So I want to vote on the worst haircut in vaping. Who has the worst haircut in vaping? I'm voting for Arthur Wenker with his top knot last year.
That's last year, man. We're 2019.
Are we going for worst haircut then?
It's me at the moment.
Some funny ones.
Mine's all 5 different lengths, but I'm not on them.
I know there was a time when Nicky had his hair cut for an Emmy. That was quite good.
No, he had hair gone.
Yeah.
Worst haircut in vaping. Worst haircut in vaping.
I swear, there's Charlie, who's on the Ambassadors. He's got a profile with a fucking Mohican. That's pretty nasty.
Just a disclaimer before we start slagging people off. Just a disclaimer.
Don't get offended, one of us. He's allowed.
What I'm saying is just a disclaimer. If you get offended, so fucking what?
Inbox call. Tell him all about it.
Remember that you take offence; it's not given.
That's it. Right, next one then. If we can't have a worst haircut, biggest baby in the industry.
Oh, there's
Biggest
so many.
baby.
You know what?
We start with people that have left the industry to play fucking Fortnite and fucking Roblox and all that shit. Because that way I'm going to put forward.
What I can say is that this year for me, I feel like people have took a little bit of a backward step. I feel like people have assessed themselves, and I actually feel like it's probably more independent cliques of people, but I don't feel like there's the same amount of sort of like public slandering of people just to try and get more people on side. I feel like that's died now. I think it run its course.
I think it was earlier on in the year, though. I think it was earlier on in the year was sort of when the people were spitting the dummies out, and then, as you say, people sort of took a step back because it wasn't no good for them.
For me, it was the Arsenal last year sort of set a few fucking stalls in place, and it set the standard for 2019. In my opinion, I honestly can't think of anyone that sort of is constantly bitching and moaning. The biggest fucking bitch in this industry at this moment is fucking Victor Mully, man. You cunts, he's worse than me, fucking whinging and bastard moaning and fucking no matter what happening in his life, it's fucking well. But actually, when you speak to Victor, I mean, for me personally, the reason why I don't comment on Victor's posts and tell him to stop being a prick is because when I read them, I think this is what every cunt must think when they're reading my shit. I'm not even joking, man. Because when I speak to Vic in the flesh, and me and Vic have a conversation, and I bumped into him at several expos, including Stuttgart. Was he at Hamburg as well, Tom? He wasn't, was he?
Yeah.
Was he at No, he weren't at Hamburg. We've seen him at
no, it's a Stuttgart one. It's Stuttgart.
Stuttgart in October at Birmingham. He's a genuinely decent geezer to talk to. I honestly can't think of anyone this year that I'm a bit like, oh, fuck you know, get a grip. Not from a vaping point of view. There's lots of people that I see daily that I want to punch in the cunt. But actually, sort of being involved in the industry and constantly bitching and whining, I can't think of anyone, to be fair.
To be fair, the whole Vic thing, if he's known in the fucking Star Trek community as Victor, and he's banned from quite a few forums because he's a cockhead, and I find him an irritating cunt anyway. But that's just my opinion. He is just one of them people that grind my gear. And when he had that
there's a lot of people.
Oh, the fucking.
I think there's a lot of people in the vaping industry that people don't like. I feel like there's a lot of people that either love him and hate him. And as Paul said, he plays a very big part in one of them. You absolutely love Paul, or you just don't understand or see it. I think there's a lot of that.
Like, sorry.
But it's more acceptable. It's more seen in vaping, on it, because of obviously the social media.
Yeah, I mean,
everyone
you'll find as an expo comes up, all these people that fucking hate each other and now are sticking each other on each other's posts because they know expo's coming up and they've got to have a beer together. Do you know what I mean? And it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I won't do that. But yeah, I mean, it's just in life. I suppose some people are not going to like others and get on with others, and but in everyday life, you ain't got to see people every day like you do online. I mean, you can block them, but what's the point in that? Like, you might as well have a row, isn't it?
I don't even know if I've ever blocked anyone on my personal profile. I don't even know. Even yesterday, Tasha said to me, "Who the fucking hell is that prick?" And I said, "He's a fucking idiot." I'm not even going to say his name. He said, "Why the fuck is he just delete him?" And I said, "No, because I know every time he comments and I put a comment on his comments, I know he's at home going, he's a fucking fat country. He's just know that I just fuck his day up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And he's called to be a smart ass cunt, and he's just not smart enough. And that's it. So I'm not going to delete no one. I had a status up last night about fucking idiots sharing fucking bullshit about fucking Labour and Conservatives, absolute morons, and sharing headlines of news feeds. Just absolute clickbait, absolute bollocks. So when you go in, there was one yesterday that says 350,000 people have had their money cut from the Department of Working Pensions or whatever the fuck, is it DWP or something like that, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've got all these people going, oh, that's fucking Boris. That is the fucking fat, blonde-headed fucking cunt. That's Boris's fault. Everyone who voted Conservatives got fucking blood on their hands. Click on the link and read it. 300,000 people did have their money reduced. 560,000 had their money increased. And it's like, read the fucking article, right? They put that clickbait on there because they know that morons are not going to click any further than looking at the article headline and sharing it around all these fucking stupid groups and everyone losing their liver over it, man. And it fucking grips my shit.
Fucking right.
But I know for a fact people have deleted me over the last 3 weeks about politics. And I'm no fucking politician, right? I don't really understand politics. I look into what I want to find out. I read everyone's manifesto just so then I can have an honest judgment and an honest opinion on it. But there was people deleting me because I was saying to them, mate, you do realise what you've just said is complete shit. Oh, you fucking would say that, you fucking Tory cunt. Oh, piss off, you fucking
Racist. You're a racist.
I've never voted Tory in my life before, man. I was raised as a fucking working class lad. I voted Tory this time because I believe that Boris Johnson will do what needs to be done. And I'll stand by that. And we'll see. We might look back in 5 years and I might be fucking talking to you from a fucking tent saying the geezer's fucked my life over and it's my own fault for voting. But I just feel like he will be. Remember, I've said this, right, in the last fucking Banter of 2019, in my opinion, he stands to be the longest serving Prime Minister of all time in this country. And I honestly believe that if he gets his shit together and he does what he needs to do, all these people that only voted for him to leave to get Brexit done, and a lot of people that have only voted because they feel that they were misjusted 2.5 years ago when they voted to leave, I honestly think over the next 2 years, they're going to be saying, you know what, I'm glad I voted for him. He's done this, he's done that, he's done that. And sometimes you've got to be cruel to be kind. And the trouble with Labour, most of the people that I see banging on about Labour is they don't want to be cruel. They just want to be kind to every cunt. And that means that the country will fall on its arse. Sometimes you've got to be super nana and say, listen, you're not fucking having it right. You can't have it. And when you can have it, I'll give it to you. But until then, you're just going to have to fucking take a step back, sort your shit out, give your head a wobble, and we're trying to our best to sort it out. I might be completely wrong. That's where I feel we are as a country. I feel like the human race generally, we all need switching off and back on again. We all need resetting. We all need to understand that we're in a fucking bed of roses. And just because the man down the road's got fucking 3 Ferraris doesn't mean that I should have them. Doesn't mean that Adam should have them. It doesn't mean Tom should have them. It means
I think I should have them. not that I could fit in a fucking Ferrari, but I can have a good car. It's convertible. Right.
It's just like, I just feel like people have become very expectant of a certain level of life without putting in a certain level of commitment to living that life. And it don't sit right with me. It's not because I'm draconian. It's not because I'm being old-fashioned. I just think you should put into it. And I don't believe in slave labour. I don't think anyone should be living on the streets. I don't think anyone should be living in poverty. But I do think that some people should only have a basic life because they're only living a basic life and they're not doing anything to strive outside of that fucking footprint of basic living. Why the fuck should they have Sky Television? How can you be on a social media platform, on a smartphone, with a contract that gives you an amount of data every month saying, I cannot afford to feed my kids, I have to go to a food bank? You fucking don't, love. You're spending 60 quid a month on your fucking phone contract, you silly cunt. Now, there's people out there saying that phone contract, they should have it. It's a basic necessity of life now. But for me, it's not. And if I couldn't afford to have my phone, I'd sell it. I'd sell my phone before I had to go down to a food bank to feed my kids. But and then if I put that in an open statement out on Facebook, everyone's going, "Oh, you fucking horrible cunt, man! The woman's got to eat." Yes, she has, but she's also got fucking fresh nails on.
She just checked in at food bank on a £1,000 mobile. That she just had to get fucking beans.
And all of that said, I know that there's genuine cases in the UK, and it shouldn't be that way in 2019. It shouldn't. But I still think that hating on someone that's worth £50 billion because they've managed to fucking be super successful in life is crazy mindset for me. Even yesterday, I seen someone say that Boris Johnson is an absolute cunt. He's supposed to be a man of the people now, and yet the Harrods van was seen delivering food to his house at 10 Downing Street. And I'm like, the geezer is on 130 grand a year. Why can't he have something delivered from Harrods? That doesn't change my life. It doesn't change what I'm having delivered to my house. It doesn't change what I'm eating for my Christmas dinner. Why would you be so obsessed with someone that you think that because he's having stuff delivered from Harrods, he's a prick? Because the same people that are hating on him almost certainly would have something delivered from Harrods if they could afford to. And honestly, I would not give up my job to run this country for £130,000 a year. I don't think it's enough.
No fucking chance.
Honestly, I don't think it's enough money. I'd happily be one of them MPs that are snoozing their head off at the back of the House of Commons for fucking 80 grand a year. And every so often just go, yeah, and then fucking fall back to sleep again. I'd do that job for 80 grand a year. But I would not have the responsibility of running this country for £130,000 a year because it's not a lot of money. And to some people who say, oh yeah, it's not a lot of money, how do you work that out? Because it's not a lot of money. And you know what? I don't believe that anyone in that level of politics is doing it just for an income. They're doing it because they're passionate about what they do. They might make mistakes, they might royally fuck up. And even Jeremy Corbyn, I actually believe that he believes his own shit. I believe that he thinks he can achieve what he's saying he can achieve. I just as a not stupid person, don't understand how he even thinks that's going to happen. But I do think that he believes in his own fucking mantra. And as long as you're passionate about something, just live your life, man. Worry about yourself. And if I had people saying to me that I was fucking pretentious, I know what I give away of my own personal money, my own personal belongings to lots of people over a long period. Not even before I had this, man. I've given my last tenner to a tramp on the street when I only had a £10 in my pocket, and that was all the money that I fucking had. And I'm not saying that so everyone says, oh, Paul's a good old Steve. I know that I can get to bed every night knowing that I feel like I've done the bits that I need to do to the people that I need to do it to. And just because I'm doing that doesn't mean I can force my doctrine on any other country. But how can you vote for democracy by trying to say that I should pay more tax than the next man because I earn more money than him? What sort of regime is that where you're forcing people to lose their belongings because they're not earning the same as you? And actually, the essence of this vote is about democracy. And then you've got other parties saying, yes, well, we're going to stay in Europe because it's not the right decision for the country. The people of the country voted to come out. Well, let the fuckers come out. And if it fucks us up, we have to stand and fall on our own merits. We have to fucking do what's got to be done to put it straight. I don't want to leave Europe. I don't think we should, but I feel that we have to because that's what was voted for. And that's just, I'm not a politician. I've just got my own thoughts on things. But generally, there's lots of cunts on Facebook. And there's lots of people that have become cunts because they're living a false life. And I'll just say, in light of my post that I posted earlier, just be yourself, man. Live your own life. And you know, one of the nicest posts that I've seen this year was Ollie, what's his name? Who was the bloke, Tom, who pissed in the glass and drank it?
Oh, fucking hell. I know exactly what you mean.
Ollie Cheeks? No, that's the wrong name. Sorry. Oh, sorry, that's a completely wrong guy. Sorry. He had a beard and that, didn't he?
Yeah. He put a post up yesterday saying that I love Christmas and and I always go out of my way to get my daughter everything she wants and all this. But this year, due to financial restraints, because of business and whatever, I can't do that this year. But it's made me realise that the time that I spend with my family is important and what we do and the people that we see and the memories that are made. And actually, I love the fact that there's no shame in posting to say, this year has just not been as good as last year. I'm not in the same financial place that I was last year. I can't do the things that I was doing last year. And in a modern society on Facebook, to be able to put that post out there and not give a shit. Is it Ollie Johnson? But I just love the fact that he's like, I'm fucking struggling this year, so actually our Christmas is going to be different, but it'll still be one that we remember. And I just read that and thought, if so many more people were a bit more honest about what they've got, what they can do, they're not posting a pile of presents to say, yes, I've only managed to spend £1,400 on my 1-year-old. Look, you've had a Provident loan right, for £3,000. You're going to be paying back until you're 75. Who are you doing that for? Because the 1-year-old ain't going to remember shit what you bought him. Tasha was saying to me the other day, we've got hardly fuck all for Bobber. And I said, he's like 5 months old by Christmas. I know for a fact that you're ain't going to get to 16 years old and say, you never even bought me fuck all on my first Christmas, you quit. Because he ain't going to remember. So instead of busting our arse to get him a pile of presents, if he needs something in the summer, let's buy it in the summer. If he needs something in February, let's buy it in February. Because he ain't going to remember. It makes no difference. Do you know what I mean? But there's too many people wrapped up in, literally, I've seen a status a long time ago that said there's too many people spending money they haven't got on stuff they don't need, trying to impress people they don't know. And actually, that as a statement there for me sums up most of today's social media issues generally with people. Just that statement right there. There's not many people that can say, you know what, I've lost my job and I'm on my arse, but I've got a roof over my head and I feed my kids every night. And they haven't got the best name shoes on the feet, but they've got new shoes on the feet and they're clean and tidy and they look smart going to school and I'm happy with that. Because then they're in this pretense world then of like, yeah, we're still fucking smashing it, we're still doing this, we're still doing that, we're still doing the other. And I'm just a bit like, live your life for yourself, man, not for other people. Because that will drive people mad. I don't care who you are, it'll drive you mad. And if you can't keep up with that pretense, you could be the geezer that's jumped off the bridge tonight because his whole life he's not what he's pretending he's. His missus might not know. There's people that lose their job and keep going out the door at 8 o'clock every morning for fucking 5 months because they've got no dough. And the missus at home going, fuck me, that cunt's fucking been busy. He's done extra hours this week. I'll fucking buy a new settee. And the cunt's been on the dole for fucking 5 months. And I'm just like, what life are you living when you can't sit down with your missus and say, listen, I've lost my job, man. We need to recalculate our whole life. The way that we spend money, what we spend our money on, the way that we do our food shopping, what we waste money on, what we can't waste money on. There's nothing wrong with doing that. No matter what levels you've been on. And I just think social media stops people from doing that. So that is my mantra for this live feed right here and right now. Just live your life for yourself and be yourself and don't try and impress no cunts. Just do what you've got to do for yourself, man. I don't know what else to say on it because I could just keep going around in circles because it draws me. It winds me. Wise me up to know people personally that are living this life on Facebook. You're mad, absolutely mad.
Right. Last one then. So to round up, best 2019 moment, whether it's in vaping, in personal life, what's been your best moment of 2019? We'll give you a rest for a minute, Paul. We'll start with you, Pixie.
10-year wedding anniversary, easy that.
Nikki, if you don't say it back, mate, you're sleeping on the sofa.
Yeah. I've got a new bike and a new shovel and 72 knives.
I've not got a new bike this year. The bike
They all
wants
come
about
on the
8
same
and a half.
day. They're fucking smashing there.
Yeah, Nikki, what's your best 2019 moment?
I'll get back to you.
Adam, I know what yours is.
No brainer.
Yeah, no, yours is.
My little girl, Elsie.
Congrats, mate. Paul, your favourite 2019 moment?
Actually telling Tasha that the baby was a boy.
Yeah, we've not even had this conversation ourselves. What was it like? Because obviously Bobby's been a surprise. All kids have been surprised, and to know that he was going to be a little boy, what was it like?
Mate, I can honestly say, with my hand on my heart, as soon as he come out, the first thing I always do is look at the beats. It's what I've always done, and then I'm looking at their fingers and toes to make sure they've got fucking 10 of each. And I noticed that he was a boy as soon as he come out, and I can honestly say that I didn't feel any different than I did with the others because as Adam and yourself and Pixie and Nicky who've got kids, and anyone else that's watching that's got kids, the emotion that is running through your body, for me personally, I can only speak for myself, the emotion that goes through your mind, your fucking body at that particular moment in time is just next level for me. It's mad. And it's never dulled down. At kid number 7, I felt maybe my first one was more madder because it was like so fucking surreal that there's a kid there. But actually that level of emotion never changed for me. It's always as fucking mad. But I remember saying to Tasha, it's a boy, and how overwhelmed she was, and like they just and it was like the first, like in fact, to be fair, it's the second time when we had Emmy, it was just me and Tasha because Emmy was going to be our last. And then when we had Bobby, it was just me and Tasha. And it was just nice to be there together, and at the end of it, we come home as a three. Do you know what I mean? We went out as two people, come back as three, and obviously bringing the kid back to the house now, it's mad. And like Adam, you've obviously got one, but if in 3 years' time you had another one, actually, when you bring the kid home to the other kid, and then they're like now, when I can sit and watch Emmy talking to Bobby for ages because she's just like she's two, but she puts on that fucking silly voice and talks to him like a dickhead. Hello, Bobby.
I mean, like all adults do and all.
I do it myself, but it's mad that a 2-year-old he changes the way that they speak to talk to them.
Yeah, cool.
Them sort of things, I sit and watch them. But like Emmy's at the perfect age for me now. She's 2 and 3 months or whatever she is, and she's talking and she's funny, and we can have a conversation. And I love them at this age because I can start to mould them and fuck about with them and just wind them up and be an arsehole or whatever it is. I just love them at that age. And for me, Bobby, I've probably spent more time with Emmy and Bobby as babies than I did with any of the others because babies do not interest me in the slightest. I'd never go and pick up a baby that's crying to stop them from crying because I'm a bit like, you'll get bored of that sooner or later, mate. Like you walk into someone else who's just had a kid and they go, "Oh, do you want to hold?" And I'm like, why would I ever want to hold it? Like, it literally does nothing. It's probably going to cry when I pick it up. There's a good chance it'll shit itself while I'm holding it, or it'll want food. I'm literally not a baby person at all. But like now, Bobby's whatever he's 4.5 months old or whatever, and he's smiling, and he's like, now for the last few days, every time I see him, he sticks his tongue out at me because I've been sticking my tongue out at him every time I talk to him, just fucking about. And it's just like I love actually watching him change and grow and learn new things. And he's just discovered his hands, so he sat there just watching his fucking fist for an hour and a half and doing nothing but just staring at his hand. And he's like, but I never really acknowledge my other kids at them ages because genuinely I was a bit like, they're a bit fucking boring, aren't they?
I think that's a man thing, isn't it? They're boring.
I was before Olsie, but I could literally sit there for hours just watching her, like staring at her. Like it's mad. It's mad. I never thought I'd feel the way I do about anything like that. If I'm honest. Like even if she brings a bit difficult, I'm like, ring an ambulance. At the moment, we're topping her up with like breast milk, and we're topping her up because she's like really always hungry. And so I'm feeding her, and then she's choking. I'm like, fucking stop breathing. Like, I'm just the life out of me. I'm like, fucking stop choking. What's the matter with you?
Turn her upside down, hold the boy a fucking foot, smack her ass. Right, there we go.
Hold on, I'm like, fucking. And she's like, they always do it. And I'm like, fucking, well, I don't know. Just brainless, but yeah.
I remember when my oldest daughter, who's 20, she was probably about 5 or 6, and my front door knocked, and I answered the door, and she stood there crying. She got blood all over her face, and her fucking nose is like that, and she's come off her push bike. And the first thing I do, I panic, man, like, and I end up absolutely growling at her for falling off the bike. And really, like, I swear, and I'm like, I told you not to go on the fucking bike. You shouldn't go on a bike till you're 65 and you've got a crowd. But I agree, mate. Like, I can't explain. Like, I don't understand how someone can have a kid and not cry, man, because it's not like I'm not there even starting, but fucking you can't stop. But I'm quite an emotional person anyway. Both ways.
Well, I'm not though. I'm not. I didn't give a shit about. No, I don't cry at funerals. Nothing. I laugh at funerals. But that kid got me on. I was in bits. But it's mad.
How old are you now, Adam?
37.
So I mean, so quite old to have your first kid, isn't it? So
yeah.
I was 23, 24, and I can honestly say that year after Chloe was born, like my perception of life changed. Where actually, there was someone who was in the world that was actually more important than me, because up until that point, I was a fucking full-on selfish prick. It was like, I don't know, it's mad. I was talking to someone one day, look, mate, I can watch fucking One Born every minute and get half emotional watching it, if I'm being honest. I'm that guy. Like, I know I could go to a random's funeral that I don't know from Adam, and I'd end up crying with the person that's crying, because I end up getting upset for other people more so than me being upset for the person that's dead. Do you know what I mean? I don't deal very well with emotional people. Emotion that passes through your body when a kid's born is just next level madman. It's fucking crazy, and it still blows my mind to this day that you can have a fucking cheap kid and it makes a kid. It's madness.
I never cried with Poppy because I didn't know what to fucking do. I shit myself. I'd be fucking with a stomach open on one side, throwing a fucking guts up, and a fucking snotty kid in my hand. I'm like, what the fuck am I meant to do now? I don't have time to fucking cry.
The one thing in my life that was sort of a pinnacle change in someone else's life because they've had a kid is my oldest brother Steve is probably he's like me with no filter times 250. But
when you coming on Banter,
you know what?
Love like, Steve.
He's next level like mad. And
he's like Paul with like no filter.
Like, literally, he posts stuff and I'm cringing on him, and I'm like, mate, why did you even say that? His son and Billy are about 6 weeks apart. So Billy's 6 weeks older than Jack. But Stephen was probably, Billy's 17, Jack's 17 in January. That'll make, so Steve would have been 33 when Jack was born. And he's literally the most tickled stomach person I ever knew. Like, if you know, like sometimes you'll get a bit of phlegm. Do that to Stephen, stretch it out a bit, and he's like, he's fucking like proper mad. And I can remember being at his house, and Jack was probably about 8 or 10 weeks old, maybe 3 months. So he weren't very old. He was a baby, and he got this bad sniffles and whatever. And I remember Stephen putting his fucking mouth around the kid's nose and going. And I was like, what the fucking hell are you doing, man? And I was like, seriously, what the fucking hell? And he was like, oh, his nose is blocked up, man, I need to clear it. And I was like, where the fuck's the shit gone that you've just fucking saw? And he was like, no, man.
That's fucking love, that, isn't it? That's love.
I said, mate, listen, I could not do that for shit. I'd have to get like a fucking, blow a balloon up, shove one up his nostril, hold the other nostril, just let the fucking balloon go and blow it down into his fucking I just remember thinking, how mad is it that someone could change that much to do something for someone they love? So it's like, it's only a stupid thing, but I honestly could not suck snot out of my kid's nose.
Oh man, you could if you needed to. Of course you could.
I'd probably
but the fact that he's gone from being like that to doing it without a second thought. Like I was shitting myself about changing the nappy, but I'd done it without even thinking about it. Like it was madness.
Yeah,
I mean, well, good.
It was a bit weird changing Bobby's nappy. He was probably 4 or 5, 6 weeks old before I changed the nappy, and that's actually because I didn't know how fucking hard to press on his bollocks with the fucking wet wipe and all that. You know, like I've changed gills all this time, and you fucking get in and fucking clean them up and do what you've got to do. And then I take his nappy off, and then he pisses all over me, and I'm trying to fucking hold the nappy over him, and he's got fucking shit all around his nutsack, and I was like, how the fuck are you supposed to clean this up? It was like, really, you need like a fucking hammock thing that you stand them on in the shower and then just fucking hose the cunt down.
Did you ever change
even Tasha said to me at the start, looking up, I don't know where the fuck to clean and what I'm looking. It's just different, isn't it? You know what I mean? But I'm not, and look, even sick now. Look, the other day, some of our kids have had diarrhea and whatever, but Tash messaged me and said, fucking hell, Emmy's got the shits, but if she starts being sick, you're going to have to come home because she can't do sick. And actually, I fucking hate sick, but I've never once not been able, like, if Tom was at my house pissed up and he was sick, Tom would have to clean up his own fucking sick, or I'm not about it. Now, I'm being like, I couldn't even do it if you were dying as a friend. couldn't do it because I'd end up fucking adding to the pile of sick with my own sick. When the kids are sick, it's different. Like you go into like a different mode and you do what you've got to do and fucking whatever. And no, yeah, if my kids are sick now, they'll come in the bed and Dad, I've been sick because Tasha's like, fucking don't want
Oh, fucking hell. Right, well, we're just over 10 o'clock. We're going to end the show as we always end the show. But before we end the show, I just want to thank everybody who's supported us, watched us, voted for us, bought product, everything that anyone's ever done for us as a team, as a company. I want to thank you ever so much for that. It's massively appreciated. You don't understand how much appreciated it is. And we're going to end on status of the year. So I've spent...
I want to say thank you to Tom, who does what he does for us. And then Adam, Nikki, Pixie, and I'm just going to say, and all the other people that do what they do for us, because joking aside, when I first, and I'm being brutally honest here, and if you take this the wrong way, then I apologise, but I was, when we first met Nikki and Pixie on the live feed to shave your hair off, to give you a free mod, I could never imagine that nearly 2 years later that you'd be working on the stand at Expo, because I was just like, what the fuck are these two people about, man? Actually, when you first come to Expo, not working for us, and we had a talk and a chat, and you even messaged me and said, thanks for letting us be on the stand and whatever, and I was like, you know what, mate, thank you for everything you've done. And more often than not, I've said to Nikki many a time, actually, I appreciate everything you do. And the other thing for me is Adam's loyalty to us is appreciated. And that's not to say that Nikki and Pixie aren't loyal, because you are, but Adam's loyalty in particular has never sort of waxed or waned or faltered or anything like that. So, and it's unusual in this industry to see someone continue to rep. And I see people, even to this day, brand hopping because that brand's doing more, or it's a bigger brand or a better brand and everything else. And we've never been about this big old team and a big old fucking, we've got 650 people behind us and fucking 625 fucking hats on the Instagrams because we've got such a big team. But genuinely, it means a lot to me that people support us for us. And I've got people that I could inbox and say, I'm in the shit. Even silly things like last week, messaging Adam saying, mate, I can't do the show. Will you do it? He's like, yeah, of course I will. I've just come in, but I'll get the link off Tom and I'm on it. It's not a problem. So for all the people that represented us, all the people that have supported us, all the people that have helped us at expos, doing whatever, even down to doing the live feed show and stuff, whatever. So that genuinely means a lot to all of us. So thank you to all of you as well. So that's from me to everyone else that's out there doing what they do for Endless, for Shady, for the wire, liquids and whatever else. So thank you all of you. It's massively appreciated.
Thank you.
Before I get in trouble, right, the best thing you mentioned is like wondering how the fuck Pixie put up with me for 10 years.
That was a good play there.
Are we gonna have
That's the show in itself, trying to figure that fucker out.
Are we gonna have a 2020 marriage renewal?
I'm not paying to do it again.
No. I always got the impression you only renew it if you've had shit in your marriage.
If someone's cheated, that's what Paul said.
Right, but right, fuck off.
That's when you have a joint Facebook account. What do you mean?
No,
Coming
Tasha,
soon.
We've been
Paul
married
and
4
Tasha
years next year. We've been married 4 years next year. And she said, should we renew our vows? And I was like, no. She's like, why? I've already said my vows to you. And actually, I agree with Tom. It's like, it's only if she's caught me dipping someone else.
I've caught you dipping someone else. You're not even.
Yeah, but that's what I was just going to say. It only works if she catches me dipping someone else and gives me. Because if I catch her dipping someone else, I'll fucking bash the head off her. So that's
Paul, I'm just letting you know, mate. I'm just going round for a cup of tea tomorrow.
No, it wasn't coming in for a cup of tea. He wanted me to fill his.
Just to let you all know, Paul's staying off work tomorrow.
I've got no deliveries tomorrow. I'm out all day.
So, status of the year. I've been through so many statuses, it is unreal, and Paul's just got some statuses that are just fucking crazy. But I honestly watched back 50 shows, and the status that got the most giggles from me, Paul, and it has no context whatsoever. Like, this status has no context, but the statuses of the year. I'm not saying she's a scruff, but her slice looks pulled apart cheese toasty. I have no idea what it's about, this status, but this status got the most laughs, giggles, reactions. So yeah, that is status of the year, and that just puts Paul down to a fucking T. I don't know who you were talking about, who you were on about in the no context.
Mate, go on Instagram.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up a separate YouTube channel. I'm gonna call it No Context Paul rather than No Context Eddie Earn. I'm gonna call it No Context Paul, and I'm gonna cut loads of fucking statuses and shit he said on the live feeds, and literally has no context. But that is status of the year. We could have gone over politics, could have gone over everything, but that for some reason, I have no idea why, got the most fucking laughs this year.
Do you know what my favourite status was? And it still makes me laugh now. And it's like the one where he says, remember when you used to be driving down the road and you'd be having a fag and you throw your fag out the window and in about 4 minutes later you can smell something funny and you turn around and your nan's in the back fingering herself. For me, that and it's not. I didn't write that material. I remember seeing that years ago, or I heard it somewhere, and it just made me laugh because I weren't expecting it.
So if anybody wants a giggle, go back to the previous show, skip to the last 5 minutes and listen to this every status. There's no context whatsoever to these statuses. There was on the week we said Paul said them, but actually watching them back and actually me going back to all these statuses going, what actual context has he said this fucking status in? Because they are random as fuck. So go back, watch the last 5 minutes of each show and watch all the fucking different.
You know what the mad thing is? I could probably listen to all of them statuses and remember who the fuck actually inspired me. Who inspired me. I can't sound this little thing. What I will say, she probably inspires about 40% of my bitchy statuses.
It's not me.
Well, that's the last show of 2019. Once again, thank you everybody for coming on. Paul, I love having the show, whether it's with the team or me and you on the road. I always enjoy the show every week. Adam, thank you so much for always joining us. Pixie, Nikki, exactly the same. Thank you so much. It's really appreciated. Everybody in chat who stays every week, comes and watches every week, watches it afterwards. It's massively appreciated. So we'll see you in 2020 for episode 80. Peace out, everyone.
Bye.
I hate this software. It takes too long to go offline.